Gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the 2KU Weekly Podcast. And we are finally here, the last week of the regular season of the 2KU season. I'm Antoine Joy 101, joined by Danny V and Pig Bear. Game you have right now, MAC East showdown between the two newest teams in the MAC, Duquesne and Johns Hopkins. Both FCS lifers who have had different paths upon joining the big leagues, as to say. J-Hop has played quite well their first two seasons. Duquesne, not so much. Regardless, we have a lot more to talk about than the MAC. Let's get started. Danny, how are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Big Bear, what's up?
I'm good. How about you?
All right. Let's talk about our top stories this week. Starting in Ames, Iowa State grabbing their biggest win in school history and punching their ticket to Arlington, Arkansas, beating their rival and setting up a winner-take-all with a spot in Atlanta on the line. Kentucky takes advantage of a demotivated Alabama to pull off the biggest upset the school has seen in years. Arizona State shuts down that USC offense that made such a splash early in the year. We have the brackets for Division 2 and FCS, the former of which have actually started playoffs already. And we have, at long last, our 8 finalists for the Heisman Trophy. And the nominees are to be revealed later on in the show. Let's get started with the game of the week. 34-28, Iowa State defeating the Texas Longhorns in Ames. Iowa State going to the Big 12 championship game for only the second time. And with a win by Oklahoma this week, Texas is essentially eliminated from the conference race. And now we'll talk more about the scenarios later on in the show. But Iowa State controls their own destiny moving forward. They just have to look forward to 2 games coming up. They have a game against Kansas State and the game in Arlington. And with the way things have turned around, there might be an outside chance of a national championship bid for Iowa State. Could you imagine, Danny?
I think it's pretty outside the realm, but it is possible if enough chaos happens.
Pigberry?
Yeah, chaos is what the name of the game is, so yeah.
Also that day, we had a great matchup. Number 19, Ole Miss. Number 21, Arkansas. The Razorbacks getting the win at home, 33-30 against Ole Miss to set up what will be up for them coming up. They get LSU up next. As for Ole Miss, the Egg Bowl, the underdog often loves playing spoiler here. I could very much see a Mississippi State pulling off an upset here, but still, the point is Arkansas, great win, great game, and LSU awaits. Danny? Danny?
Yeah, this is now a winner-take-all situation for the Arkansas, especially considering this is like their 3rd win. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
I hear you.
What?
Oh. There
I'm
you
here.
go.
I'm here.
Yeah, I was saying that great win by Arkansas, considering this is their 2nd year in conference, right?
They joined in 2024.
So definitely, I think. Okay. There might be some latency. I don't know. But definitely, I think this is a great win for them.
Pig Bear?
Yeah, who left? Okay. Arkansas getting the win and maybe having a shot to go play for an SEC title so soon after joining the conference is just great for them.
You can't just stroll into the SEC and steal it. It's not the ACC. If we're talking about stolen games, how about Kentucky? 27-20 at home over Alabama. Kroger has never been this rocking before, as Kentucky gets their first top 10 win since 2013, beating the Crimson Tide. Kentucky had nothing to play for. They're out of bowl contention, comfortably so. This wasn't a big rival. All they wanted to do was ruin Alabama's day, and they did just that. That day might not be over yet. Auburn awaits Alabama. I'll at least say that Kentucky gets a high note to end on here, thanks to, because up next, Louisville. Oh boy, Danny.
Yeah, an amazing win by Louisville. Their fans are definitely storming Kroger right now, but definitely a great way to beat, especially with this demoralized Alabama. I think Alabama may have lost their chance to a BCS spot.
I believe Alabama now falls to 9-2. Their next game is against Auburn, as I mentioned. BCS not out of the question, but it's going to be an uphill battle to get there. Pig Bear?
Yeah, it's certainly an uphill battle. I just don't know if there's enough room to climb for him. Get back.
Coming up next, Arizona State 38-5 with the win over USC.
So we'll know if Alabama can make the comeback up just to.
Hang on one second. 38-5 USC falls to Arizona State. They got completely silenced. Played well against top squads, and this is a USC squad who has struggled immensely recently. They've dropped 3 games, I believe, in their last 4. Notre Dame, or the big ones against. Big ones against Cal and Arizona State now. And that's where them having to play from behind. And that's where the slope started. Their last game of the season is against rival UCLA. Danny?
Yeah, what a tragic fall by USC. I mean, starting the season win streak, now on a bad losing streak. Got a lot of work for it, especially only scoring 5 points.
5 points, a field goal, and an intentional safety. Were all USC can muster in this one. Pig Bear?
Hello?
Pig Bear, what's up?
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
I just
There
heard,
you go. Now we can hear
I
you.
heard silence. It just heard silence.
Field goal and intentional safety were the only scores for USC in this game. 38-5 was what I was saying. Pig Bear, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a program that's fallen off recently, and to see a program just go down like that.
Ohio State, 45-24, getting a win on the road against Purdue. They're to win comfortably in Spoilermaker territory. 16-10, Wisconsin gets a road win over Iowa, a little less convincingly. Between those two results, as well as a win 45-7 over Northwestern, Michigan is now clinched for the Big 12 or for the Big 10 championship game. The Wolverines will either play the Badgers or the Buckeyes in Indy, depending on what happens this coming Saturday. We'll talk more in detail about that later. I'm going to run through more games while I actually have connection here. Georgia, 24-21, wins a close one in Neyland Stadium over Tennessee. We had two major upsets aside from the Alabama-Kentucky one, namely Notre Dame finally getting their act together with a 27-11 win over number 13 Miami. Houston winning on the road 34-23 against number 10 Texas Tech. That makes the Red Raiders' route to the Big 12 title a lot murkier. Also in the Big 12, double overtime. We had two great double overtime games. Games in and out of the Big 12. The one in 41-34, Nebraska beating Baylor in Waco. The one outside the Big 12, we go back to the SEC. It's Florida. Wins 33-30 over Vanderbilt in double OT. I got to run through these quick because we have a touchdown John Hopkins, but as well, two playoff brackets to talk about. We're going to start with the D2 bracket, which is technically already... And what is with my frame rate?
I'm glad it's not my connection.
Well, good for you. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening, but it's struggling immensely. D2 playoffs we're going to get started with. They're underway as the first round games have already been played. The bracket is separated into four sections: East, Central, South, and West. The winner of each regional advances to a neutral site Final Four in McKinney, Texas. We're going to get things started in the East bracket. And we are back. Sorry about that. Let's get things started once again. And we're back. We're going to run a quick test here. Okay. I think it's just the stream.
Okay,
I think
good.
that's what's causing a lot of the issues. Problem is the stream is the stream. Let me see if Pigverse is any better.
While we wait.
I think it actually was better.
Was it already dark at UMass?
Cause it's a dark day in UMass.
It's a dark day in UMass.
It's been a dark while. We asked LOL.
All right, we're still rolling. While we're still rolling, I'm going to take this opportunity to read out the bracket for the Division II playoffs. Yes, we are still rolling. Starting in the East.
Oh, I said that live on air. My bad.
East. Yeah, it's Danny's stream that's the issue.
You're a family-friendly show here at the 2KU. What's that language?
All right.
Who's playing quarterback for UMass?
I can actually start talking about the East without another lag spike. We're going to start with Slippery Rock, number 5 team in the country, winner of the PSAC. They get the winner of Bloomsburg and Frostburg State. Other side of that, the winner of that will face off the winner of Muhlenberg and number 11 Kutztown. A lot of PSAC teams making this part of the bracket. Number 20 Shepherd, winner of the Mountain East, taking on Johnson C. Smith or Millersville out of that bracket, and Bowie State taking on number 13 UIP. By the way, each of the home teams won their conference. So the CIAA had Bowie State, Shepherd won the Mountain East, the Northeast 10 winner was Muhlenberg, and the PSAC was Slippery Rock. Hence why Kutztown or Shepherd or Kutztown or UIP will be playing on the road despite being ranked teams since they didn't win their conference. The only conference that this doesn't happen with in the West, the only region that this doesn't happen with all the way is the West, since there are 5 conferences. So you'll have 2. So you'll have 1 team playing a road game. That's just the way the conferences lined up. Anyway, back to the point. In the Central is the number 1 team in Division 2 this season, Grand Valley State. Won the GLIAC. They'll get the winner of number 21 Lake Erie and Missouri Western. Also in that bracket, you have number 24 Tiffin taking on number 4 Northwest Missouri State. Number 3 Pittsburgh State, a reigning power in Division 2. They won the 2023 championship and they played in the semifinals in 2024. They will get the winner of number 18 Southwest Baptist and a recent custom creation who made it there, the Manning Tigers of Detroit, Michigan. Winner from that side of the bracket takes on number 10 McKendree or number 15 Central Missouri. To the South region, number 2 West Florida gets the winner of West Alabama and Carson Newman. And how about the big story in D2, the most interesting one at least, Ferrum, in their first season of D2 play, already a conference champion. They won the Conference Carolinas, and they'll take on number 12 Valdosta State. Number 22 Wingate gets the winner of Lenore Rhine, who's number 25 in the 2KU D2 rankings, and Benedict. We wrap the South bracket with Albany State and number 19 Delta State. On to our West bracket. We have the number 6 Harding Bison taking on the winner of Western Oregon, number 23, and Upper Iowa. We have our 2 conference champions playing against each other in Central Washington from the GNAC and number 14 Chatteron State from the RMAC. Central Washington is number 17. I don't know if I said that already. Number 7 Sioux Falls out of the NSIC gets the winner of number 16 CSU Pueblo, former D1 school, and Eastern New Mexico. And our last 2 matchups here, a top 10 one, as UT Permian Basin takes on Arkansas Tech. And that's your D2 field. Before we move on to the next one, how about this field, Danny? Who are your Final Four and who's your national champion?
Yeah, this is a very fun and interesting field. For me, I think will be Slippery Rock from the east. I think from the central, I'm gonna pick Grand Valley State. From the south, I like West Florida. I know from the south, I like West Florida, and then from the west, I give me CSU Pueblo.
All right. Pigbear, you were muted for a bit, but do you have a pick for
I was
D2?
trying to make a call. My phone might be completely dead, guys.
Oof.
This is
Ooh.
great. Oof, big oof. I like Slippery Rock, Grand Valley State, Wingate, and Arkansas Tech.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. I heard Arkansas Tech though. I think my final.
That's my.
I think my Final Four from this bracket. I like Shepherd coming out of the East. I think from the Central, I'm picking Pittsburgh State. My South, I'm going to pick West Florida. And my West, I like Sioux Falls making it to the Final Four. National champions going around. I'm going to do mine. I think my national champion, I think it's going to be those Gorillas once more. Give me Pittsburgh State.
Yeah, Pittsburgh State. They are probably my favorite as well. I think they're gonna repeat as well.
Did you not pick Grand Valley?
I know. I know. Yeah, Grand Valley. I picked Grand Valley. Whoops.
Oh,
I'm getting
Pig
my
Bear?
brackets mixed up.
I like Wingate making a run. Give me the dark horse.
School you got an invitation from, I believe.
Yes, I got a whatever recruitment I got in,
Yeah.
but I didn't have 40K to go in college.
Wingham must be expensive. Then we move on to a bracket that hasn't started yet. All of the first round matches have already happened. You can check them out at the Antoine Joy 101 Discord server, along with other scores we'll be posting throughout the week. It's time for the FCS playoffs, the most high-profile playoff in the 2KU. Wink. Number 1 team in the FCS, that's going to be Montana State. They get the winner of Charleston Southern and Merrimack. Also in that branch, you have number 18 New Hampshire taking on number 20 Grambling State. An important thing to note is we have a change in how the 2KU's FCS playoffs work this year and how they're going to work next year. Previously, the Celebration Bowl was part of the playoff, and that would be the invitation to whatever seed or to the lowest seed somewhere else. However, that's changed. For this season, the top 2 teams in the MEAC and SWAC, both of their champions, won't be in the FCS playoffs. They'll be going to the Celebration Bowl instead. However, next season, the top 2 teams from those conferences, the champions, will be in the playoffs, and instead it'll be the next best teams that were not given at-large bids that make it to the Celebration Bowls. Think of how the D3 does. Think about how D3 or D2 do their bowl games. It will be a bit of a loss of luster for the Celebration Bowl. However, it will give HBCUs a shot in an FCS title, which they haven't really had in a long time. This decision was kind of spurred on a few years ago when Savannah State, out of the MEAC, made a run all the way to the Final Four before falling to Eastern Washington. We do have a couple at-larges in this bracket. Grambling State is one of them. Let's get back to the bracket. Number 9, Bryant hosts Lehigh. Number 11, Eastern Illinois has San Diego. Moving on to our next top seed, number 4, Ferris State. They get the winner of Morehead State and Blue Ridge, who make the playoffs in their first year as an FCS member. Sorry. On the other side of the bracket, number 15, Gardner Webb, and number 21, St. Francis of Pennsylvania. Feel good story for the Red Flashes. Number 5, Montana takes on Tennessee Tech, and number 14, Florida A&M takes on number 23, Alabama State. To the other side of the bracket, number 2, Stony Brook. They've been playing very well, even in spite of their one loss this season, which was to that South Carolina squad we saw last week. They'll be getting the winner of Marist and Valparaiso, 2 teams who have both made deep FCS playoff runs in the past. Number 17, Central Connecticut taking on number 19, Weber State on the other side of that branch. The other branch here, number 8, Maine taking on 2KU and Antoine Joy 101 Darlings, U.S. International. Number 12, Northern Arizona has number 25, East Tennessee waiting for them. And we reach our final bracket in the FCS. Number 3, Albany. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Does it change this season? They'll get the winner of North Carolina A&T and Samford. Moving down a branch, number 16, Murray State takes on number 22, Towson. Number 6, Monmouth gets Danny's own Fort Lauderdale. And our last matchup, number 13, Campbell takes on an independent in number 24, Case Western Reserve. Looking at this bracket right now, I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a shock. I like Montana State making it all the way to the semis. In this second bracket, I could see the Bobcats taking on Montana in a in-state rivalry for a chance at the national championship game. I like Stony Brook making it all the way. And I don't think I like Albany making it there, unfortunately, for the Great Danes. I like Monmouth instead. Give me Stony Brook, Monmouth, Montana State, Montana. And for my national championship, give me Stony Brook over Montana. Danny?
Yeah, I mean, shout out for Lauderdale, first season as a FCS member, rising up from D3 and making the playoffs. Count that as a win.
Shouts to
Uh,
Pig Bears Blue Ridge. I believe this is their first season as well.
yes,
Yes.
as well.
They made the D2 playoffs last season, losing to Valdosta State. But yeah, who are
I
your
think the
Final Four?
teams are most. I think my Final Four, they're going to consist of Montana State, Montana. I think also I'm liking Maine, and I'm liking Monmouth.
All right.
And also, as a little tangent, I don't like this decision with the Celebration Bowl because it does take away the luster of the HBCU National Championship, which is still considered an official national championship by the NCAA for these schools. That's one of the big reasons why the Celebration Bowl was made for this national championship.
Mm-hmm. Pig Bear?
So it does ruin
Well,
their national championship chance.
what I would do with the Celebration Bowl is I'd make it a playoff game.
That's how it was
It's
before,
one
but
for-
it was a playoff game
it's just
originally.
like round one matchup there, and you have a heavyweight matchup in round one. That'd be great. I'd watch that. You
Or
put that on match.
or the champions just go to the Celebration Bowl, then it's just the next teams up who gets at largest to the playoff.
Is that not what
No, I'd
is
rather
that
win
not
my
what we're doing?
conference and go play for
Yeah,
and
that's what we're doing this season, but after
Oh.
that, it's gonna be different.
go play for a national title.
Play for the HBCU title.
I
Montana,
think I've made a mistake.
Fair State. Montana Fair State. Stony Brook and Monmouth. That's my call. And
You mean Montana
give me
State?
Stony Brook.
Fair State?
Give me Monmouth over actually give me Stony Brook over Montana State.
My number one, number two matchup. Up next. It's time to finally, I've been meaning to do this for a while. Time to finally talk about our 8 Heisman Trophy finalists, as well as our Coach of the Year finalists I wanted to bring up. We'll be having a couple more awards to hand out the week after the conference championship games. But these are the 2 big ones I want to focus on. We're going to start with the 8 Heisman Trophy finalists. And the finalists are Daniel Anderson out of Oklahoma. We saw him show flashes all season. Probably the best running talent in the Big 12. AJ Carpenter, Louisville. Big dynamic playmaker. NFL ready junior who has yet to make a statement on his future at the University of Louisville. But I won't be surprised if a team is really excited to see him declare for the draft in 2 months' time. Cal Dirks out of Texas Tech, the big out of nowhere story of this season. He's been playing with fire all year. As has Daniel Gerardo, quarterback for Washington. We've seen how explosive he can be. Look at that game against Boise earlier this year. Those are some moments to make a name out that made a name for himself. Cole Lefebvre, Arizona State. Junior transfer from Columbia. And he has been worth every single bit of hype. We saw him for a bit in week 0, but even when missing 2 weeks, he has still found his way here. I believe the first Heisman finalist to not play every game in the year. Logan Martin Garcia, quarterback for Miami, the only freshman in this field. He was much hyped when he arrived in that position, and he has also lived up to all his hype. Near single-handedly helping Miami become a true contender in the ACC. Tony Moore, senior out of Clemson. We already mentioned NFL-ready talent, who has spent years under the mentorship of many now NFL quarterbacks, and Tony Moore is I wouldn't say the pinnacle necessarily, but he's the sum of all of their parts, let's say. And we got to have one finalist outside of the power conferences. And this year, it's none other than Dexter Robertson out of Texas State. That 0 is doing a lot to help him out, that undefeated record. And he has blown out most of the competition. And there are your 8 Heisman Trophy finalists. The Coach of the Year finalists as well. Reese Atwood for Louisville, helping turn around this team who spent the last few years sort of directionless after John Rodgers left and he was injured back in 2022. He helped bring Reese Atwood helped bring Louisville back into the national spotlight. Jarrett Linwood, Texas Tech. You got to applaud how quickly Texas Tech has gone from a bottom feeder to a Big 12 dark horse. He was huge on that turnaround. Kieran Honeysett out of Washington. Speaking of turnarounds, none have been more dramatic than very few have been more dramatic than Washington. Texas State, Gerard Harmon, a former coordinator for the University of Oregon, and that coaching tree only gets better and better with age as this team is rolling along. Eric Haynes out of Iowa State, an instant favorite. You want to talk about turnarounds? How about Iowa State's turnaround? None quite like it. Charles Holland out of Georgia. He's keeping the Bulldogs in as a national contender. Herman Riley out of Miami. He was the big offseason hire for the Hurricanes out of Columbia, and he has kept up the winning ways with these Canes. William Shirley out of Ohio State is our final nominee. Sometimes to be Coach of the Year, be in consideration for Coach of the Year, you don't have to make a drastic turnaround. You just have to keep being the best. And William Shirley has done just that, keeping Ohio State in national conversations. Right now, what are you guys thinking with these finalists, and who do you have as early favorites? Danny?
Yeah, for me, my Heisman winner will have to go to Cal Dirks from Texas Tech. We saw that Heisman moment of his during the game against Kansas. I think they are primed and ready to have a Heisman winner back down in Lubbock.
It would
And for
be
my Coach of the Year,
Texas Tech's first. I was gonna say.
for my Coach of the Year, I'm gonna pick Texas State's Jared Harmon. I mean, Texas State has literally come out of the blue and just stunned the college football world of still being undefeated and being a possible BCS bowl team.
Possible national champion team if everything goes insane.
I did the math on what it would require. There are currently 9 power teams with at least 1 loss. I believe at least 8 of them will have to lose at least 1 time.
It's
A couple of
that,
them
or
have to
they
lose
go
twice.
undefeated and there's no other, or they just go undefeated and there's no other, their undefeated teams left.
I don't know if that's
Do
a
a UCF.
guarantee because it's not as clear cut as like a Boise when Boise went undefeated as the last one around.
Yeah, but they could do a UCF.
They could do a UCF. I thought we were talking like them being in the national title game.
I am.
What I was talking about was
I
the
mean,
math
that's
it would
also a
take for
possibility.
Texas State or Nevada, who is also in this position to make a national championship game. Right now, my Heisman winner, I'm gonna have to go with AJ Carpenter. Louisville has been has been just the team for me. They have come straight out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere necessarily, I mean. More so, they have took the nation by storm. I love this Cardinal squad. Give me Carpenter for the Heisman Trophy. For my Coach of the Year, I gotta go with Eric Haynes out of Iowa State. You want to talk about turnarounds? There's no turnaround quite better than Haynes's Then Haynes is at Ames. Big Bear?
Um, I'm gonna go AJ Carpenter. I'm gonna give me Gerard Harmon.
From the trophy room to the bowling alley, I'm going to hand it off to Danny V as he'll talk about the last call for bowl eligible teams. Danny?
Welcome all to the bowling alley. We're now Bowl Mania is sponsored by Coca-Cola, the official drink of Bowl Mania. Yes, that's crazy to hear as well, but
Who's
we
drinking
have
Coca Cola?
ourselves
I'm
a
not.
couple of teams who did clinch. I was earlier,
Mhm.
but who needs that when we have Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville?
Yeah.
Not sponsored. But yeah, but we have many different prime candidates who did make their way up to bowl contention, but we also have some teams who got kicked out and some teams who are now just waiting. Who is who is left and who is waiting? Well, from the ACC, from the teams who made to a bowl game, nothing. Oh wait, whoops, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. From the ACC, the teams that have clinched a spot, we had ourselves the we already had Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Maryland, South Carolina. But introducing new to the list of teams that finally found their parking spot, we got the Davidson Truckers has finally got their way into the bowling alley after their win against Florida State, alongside with Boston College and Duke. From the American, joining UMass and Delaware is UGF and Colgate. From the Big East, South Florida has finally made their way in. No one knew out of the Big Ten. No one knew out of the Big 12. From the Conference USA, Western Kentucky has made their way in, staring menacingly. The Ivy
Interesting.
League has Princeton that finally got to go bowling. From the heck, Ohio and Ball State has joined the bowling alley. From the Missouri Valley, you had North Dakota State, Indiana State, and Illinois State all clinched their bowl spots. No one knew from the Mountain West Pac. From the SEC, Florida has finally gotten their bowl spot after being waiting outside in the parking lot for several weeks. No one knew for the SoCon or the Southland. The Sun Belt has gained both of the Louisiana schools, ULM and the University of Louisiana. The WAC has no new members, and now the Independents. Navy has gotten in, but let's say they might be on a little bit of a short list, if anything, which I'll explain a little bit later. But waiting outside for our final call out of the ACC, we have Virginia and Virginia Tech. So the winner of this matchup will definitely clinch their spot to a bowl game. And the American, you got Austin Peay and Holy Cross. For the Big East, you got Pitt and UConn, who are all sitting out. From the Big Ten, Minnesota, Penn State, and Chicago are waiting for their bowl spots. It's possible that one of them, especially that Chicago team, to get a possible bowl spot. Out of the Big 12, BYU is still looking for the spot, but they're also joined by Kansas State and Oklahoma State. At the Conference USA, Stephen of Austin is looking for their spot. No one from the Ivy League and MAC. They all had their teams either clinched or been eliminated. From the Missouri Valley, Wayne State is looking out, but because of their transition rules, they're still at 6 wins, but they're waiting out and need a 7th win to fully lock in. From the Mountain West, UTEP and San Jose State are looking for their spot. Out of the pack, San Diego State looking for their spot. The SEC has Rice and Vanderbilt, the two academics, waiting for their spot. In the SoCon, joining VMI is Washington Lee and the Citadel. The Southland has Abilene Christian still looking for the spot, but in comes Texas Arlington and Incarnate Word. Those for the matchup between Incarnate Word and Abilene Christian will determine who is going bowling, but there might also be a little catch to that, which will be explained later. Central Arkansas has still looking for the spot, but in comes in Long Beach and Hardin Simmons. From the Independents, UC Davis is still looking for the spot, but now comes their rival from across town, the Hornets of Sacramento State. So that matchup right there will be definitely a bowl clincher spot. From the ACC, team has been eliminated. The recent one there is the Knowles of Tallahassee. Shocking. From the American, North Alabama joins their American brethren who are also going down to the FCS. From the Big East, East Carolina has joined them, but they've put up a good fight this season. And the Big Ten, Iowa and Indiana join Northwestern. Baylor has joined Houston, TCU, Colorado, and Missouri. Out of Conference USA, Liberty and Kennesaw have joined the others. The Ivy League, Yale, the final team out of the Ivy League, has been eliminated. Out of the MAC, Buffalo, Duquesne, Toledo, Akron, Kent State, make sure you keep a note on them, and Eastern Michigan have all been eliminated. Missouri Valley, Wichita State, and Northern Iowa has joined the crowd. Out of the Mountain West, Air Force and Idaho are now waiting out. Out of the PAC, UCLA, Colorado State, and Utah State are joined by Arizona. The SEC, no one new has joined. Same thing with the SoCon and Southland. And the Sun Belt, Troy and Jacksonville State has joined them. And the WAC, CSU Fullerton is out. And the Independents, no one else new. There is a little stipulation that we have to go with these bowl contentions, which I know was said early in the season, but now we're getting to the end and it might become a real possibility.
Yeah.
Chat. We might have too many teams going to a bowl game.
Oh, I know for a fact we do. I've checked. There are 108 or there
There are 108 spots for bowl games, and 105 have already been clinched.
All right. And we
So
know
what are we
that
gonna
some are
do
going
for-
to have to be clinched because looking at the list right now, Virginia and Virginia Tech play each other. Chicago plays an FCS squad. VMI Washington and Lee play each other. Abilene Christian and Current Word play each other. And the big one I see, Sacramento State and UC Davis play each other. Sorry.
Luckily, I do have a little set of rules here for the teams that might be cut. For starters, if you are one that played 13 games and you finish the season at 6-7, you might be eliminated because you have a losing record right there. Also, a possibility for teams that might be going down out of bowl spots are those that are going down to the FCS. So, for schools like let's say a Colgate,
Or
Austin P, Holy Cross,
or I don't know, Abilene
or-
Christian and Incarnate Word.
yeah, Texas aren't staying. Or the Citadel or Washington Lee.
Citadel is not going down. They're going to the American.
Oh no, VMI is going down.
VMI
my bad.
Washington Lee are.
Yep. So for those that are going down, they might need to look out because they might be kicked out of bowl spot because of them going down. But that's only a matter of time until we see what happens.
Yeah. I'm going to move now to our top 25. Sorry, I'm eating something. Number 1.
No.
First things first, Clemson remains number 1. They'll be
Hold on for
taking...
like 2 seconds. Back in a second.
All right. Number 1. Clemson is unchanged. They play South Carolina coming up. Michigan, still number 2. They play Ohio State. Number 3, still Louisville. They have Kentucky at home. And Georgia at home against Georgia Tech is number 4. They are up 1 spot from last week as they jump Oregon, who plays Oregon State at home, and wraps out our top 5. A key thing to note, Michigan's the only one who plays a top 5 team on the road. Or the only one of the top 5 who plays someone on the road. As for the rest of the top 25, Washington heads to Pullman to take on Washington State. The Huskies are number 6 in the country. Number 7, LSU up 1 spot. After their win against Rice, they play Arkansas at home. Number 8, Alabama dropped only a spot after their loss to Kentucky. They take on Auburn. Up 5. One of our biggest risers this week is Iowa State. I think this is our biggest riser. Iowa State got the win over Texas. They play Kansas State in Manhattan. And now into the top 10, Ohio State with their win at Purdue sets up a top 10 matchup against the Michigan Wolverines in Columbus. Number 11. In Wisconsin, up 4 spots after their win at Iowa. They play Minnesota and need to root for Michigan against Ohio State. Down 3 spots. Number 12, Texas. They lost last week. They play Texas A&M in hopes to turn their season around. Up 3 spots, Texas State finally starting to make their rise. That Heisman nomination, as well as their still undefeated record through almost the entirety of November, is keeping them going this strong. The win against UTSA might jump them even higher in the rankings. But you got to win that conference championship if you want to be in the BCS conversation. Look at what happened with Rice, for example, last season in the Conference USA. Number 14, also up 3 from last week, is West Virginia. Their win against East Carolina moves the Mountaineers to 10-1 as they take on Pittsburgh. Down 5 spots is Texas Tech after the loss to Houston. That loss derailed their season, but hopefully they can get it back on track at Colorado to end the year. The top 25 is going to be very important to Texas Tech, as we'll talk about later. Number 16, Miami, dropped 3 spots from last week after their loss at Notre Dame. They head back home to Coral Gables. What's their next destination? A matchup with the Truckers of Dave's show. Number 17, up 1 spot, Nevada. After their win against Hawaii, they head to UNLV to take on the Rebels in Allegiant Stadium. I'm surprised Nevada hasn't risen higher at this point, honestly. Also, someone I'm surprised hasn't risen much higher is Oklahoma at number 18. The 9-2 Sooners beat TCU. They head to Stillwater to take on the Cowboys to end the year. Also, not much a mover. Number 19, Arkansas, after their win against Ole Miss, head to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. Down 1 spot, number 20, Ole Miss. After their loss at Arkansas, they play Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl in Oxford. Now at number 21, dropping 10 spots, our biggest faller of this week is USC after their loss at Arizona State. They play for the victory bell against UCLA on Saturday. Number 22, Michigan State up 1 spot after winning the spittoon against Indiana. They play for the Land-Grant Trophy in Happy Valley against Penn State. Number 23, South Carolina, beaten FCS squad in Stony Brook. They head to Clemson to take on the number 1 Tigers to end the year. Number 24, Stanford got a win against Washington State. Their conference slate is over. They'll be taking on Notre Dame to end the year. And we wrap with UCF back into the top 25. With a win against Villanova, they take on South Florida to end the year. Other teams mentioned in the top 25 polls include Nebraska, Georgia Tech, Marshall, Oregon State, Arizona State, South Alabama, Wyoming, Pacific, Temple, who is our team out this week. I forgot to mention. They lost at UConn. They'll play Villanova to end the year. But continuing the list, Rutgers, Boise State, Southern Illinois, Fresno State, North Texas, Cal, FAU, Richmond, UAB, Columbia, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Texas A&M, Tarleton State, Kansas, and Utah. Wrapping up the list. Thoughts on top 25, Danny?
Yeah, a lot of great matchups right here and a lot of interesting scenarios that can happen, especially next week if different things go one way or another way. So we got to really see how everything plays out next week because it's make or break for these teams.
Do we
And
know
I'm surprised with the lack of non-power teams that are in.
if Pig Bear's back?
Yes, I'm back.
Big Bear!
Craziness, chaos will ensue.
Mm-hmm. I'm not as surprised with the lack of top 25 teams. I feel like a lot of, or non-power teams rather. I feel like, unlike in years past, not a lot of non-power teams have necessarily the same pedigree as they have in years prior. really the thing that has teams like Texas State and Nevada sticking around as much as they have been has been just their continuous winning and their continuous dominant winning. Texas State has continuously blown out their opponents in the Conference USA. Nevada probably has the most pedigree of any non-power team, namely those wins against a very tough conference in the Mountain West, and a win against Wyoming. Should they, or actually they've clinched it. We'll talk about that later. A win against Wyoming in the conference championship game would only push them even further. I'm going to move now to our clinching scenarios.
I could do that because I have I have many of the simulations right in front of me. If you want,
I'll read what's on the sheet here, and I'll hand it off to you for any other details that need to go. Because right now, we're in pretty simple territory. A lot of these races are either very close to or have already been settled. Starting with the ACC, the Coastal was settled a few weeks ago. Miami is in. They have, even with their loss to Notre Dame, that's a non-conference opponent. You can lose to Notre Dame all you want. You are already in. As for the other division, South Carolina didn't play a conference game last week. Clemson did. They beat Maryland. They demolished Maryland, by the way. So now it all comes down to this. Clemson, South Carolina. The winner goes to Charlotte. The loser will be bitter for a full calendar year. We'll talk about that matchup at the end of the show, since there's not a lot of what if scenarios. We won't necessarily go on who's gonna make the championship at this point. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But now we'll move to the American. Delaware's clinched. We have 4 other teams looking for that final spot. UMass. All you gotta do is beat St. John's. That seems easy enough. But if you can't do that, then the other 3 teams are into focus. Colgate. They need to beat Holy Cross their final game, and they need losses from UMass and Austin Peay. Austin Peay, who, mind you, is not bowling yet. They need to beat Eastern Kentucky, and they need losses from UMass and UGF. UGF is the final team on this list. They need to beat North Alabama to end the year, and they need losses from UMass and Colgate. Right now, there's too many what ifs, and all these what ifs will be null and void should UMass beat what has historically been one of the worst teams in the 2KU. Give me UMass to make the championship, Danny.
yeah, give me UMass to easily beat St. John's and wish them farewell and good luck in their endeavors in the FCS.
Pig Bear?
And this scenario right here is just too chaotic for even me to like.
Pig Bear?
Yeah, it have to be hell freezing over.
Yeah. We have some scenarios already clinched moving forward to the Big East North, West Virginia, and Louisville in the South. They are already locked in. They got wins against East Carolina and Cincinnati, respectively, to officially lock them both in to the conference championship game. We'll be seeing them in New York. How about New York? Speaking of New York, other side of the city, Columbia clinching the Ivy League title, 3rd time in 4 years. Congrats to the Lions. The MAC West was clinched. Bowling Green coming out of nowhere to win the division. And speaking of coming out of nowhere, this race in the MAC East, Miami, Ohio, all they need to do is beat Ball State to clinch their spot. Kent State, they need to beat Akron and have Miami lose, and we'll have something we've never had before. A 5-7 team would make a conference championship game. We got close back in 2022. Marshall almost did it, but they got edged out at the last moment by Ohio. Right now, beating Ball State should be enough for Miami. I like the Miami Redhawks to take on Bowling Green. Danny?
Yeah, give me Miami, Ohio to win this. This is just too crazy for Maction to even have a 5-7 team in the championship game. So give me Miami to win this.
Big Bear?
Yes. Kent State wins. Miami loses.
All right. To the Missouri Valley. In the East, Southern Illinois, all you got to do is beat Western Illinois. Easy as that. Missouri State is sitting right in the rear view, though. Wichita State, they got to beat them, and they need Southern Illinois to lose to a team that has historically been one of the worst in FBS football, and they won't be FBS next season. To the Missouri Valley West, Drake needs to beat Northern Iowa, and South Dakota State needs to beat South Dakota and have Drake lose to Northern Iowa. Right now, I'm liking that matchup that I mentioned a few weeks before, Southern Illinois and Drake for the conference championship. And I've also mentioned it would be a all-time fight of the century type game for who owns the most Missouri Valley championships. They're tied with 10, I believe, all time. The winner would pass the other. Danny?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like the matchup too. Southern Illinois against Drake. That seems like the best matchup for these guys.
Big Bear?
Give me Southern Illinois versus Drake also.
All right. To the Big Ten. Right now, Ohio State and Michigan are your most likely contenders, depending on how that game goes. Wisconsin sitting on the sideline. Michigan's already clinched. They'll obviously want to beat Ohio State, but regardless of that result, they'll make the Big Ten championship game. As for Ohio State, if they lose and if Wisconsin beats Minnesota, which seems likely, Wisconsin slips into that spot instead. Right now, I think that's the most likely. I think the most likely course of events is Ohio State beating Michigan, and I think that would lock in Ohio State and Michigan for a rematch in Indianapolis. Danny?
Give me a rematch in Indianapolis, but between Wisconsin and Michigan. I think this matchup's gonna go all the way up to Indy.
Big Bear?
Give me Ohio State Michigan rematch. I think Ohio State beats Michigan this week.
All right. To the Big 12. Iowa State, with their win over Texas, not only clinched, but also eliminated Texas. So now it's a three-way race for the Big 12 title. All Oklahoma has to do is beat up Oklahoma State in Stillwater. And they're in. Meanwhile, Texas Tech, they need to beat Colorado. They need Oklahoma to lose. And then it's out of their hands. They need a higher rank than Oklahoma would have pending that loss. Looking at the top 25 right now, Texas Tech is ranked ahead of Oklahoma. OU would be ranked number 18. Tech would be ranked number 15. So right now, Texas Tech should be in, or Texas Tech should be in should the other two things happen. I don't expect Texas Tech to fall like a rock, even if they beat Colorado and Oklahoma lose. But right now, I don't think Oklahoma's going to lose. I like the Cowboys, or I like the Sooners beating the Cowboys. This has been an Oklahoma State team that has struggled immensely this year. And this is an OU team who I'd been doubting before, but has impressed me more and more as the end of the year has gone forward. I like Oklahoma and Iowa State. Danny?
Yeah, going through the tiebreaker scenario rules that the Big 12 has and applying it to these teams was pretty much chaos because if Oklahoma does lose to Oklahoma State, then they both have only lost to the one team that they would have both played against, plus also they beat all the same common opponents. So it's literally down to rankings. And if both teams weren't ranked, then it would have gone down to a coin.
The coin flip.
Yeah, but I actually want Oklahoma State to win this one. And I want Texas Tech to make it.
All right, Pig Bear?
Give me Oklahoma versus Iowa State.
All right. We have another championship clinch, the Conference USA. Texas State have been clinched for a while, but now Marshall officially clinches in. And Marshall's been a very good team, and no one's really talked about it. But keep an eye on those Thundering Herd in that game. They might be the Southern Mississippi to Texas State's Rice. To the Mountain West, also all clinched. Nevada, undefeated naturally. They have one more game against UNLV, but then they'll take on Wyoming. With UNLV's loss to UTEP this week, that gave Wyoming the clinch that they needed to make it to the championship game. The Pac-12 is up next, and it's down to a 3-horse race. I'm going to start with the other two teams, namely Washington and Oregon. All they need to do is win their respective games. Washington State for Washington, Oregon State for Oregon. If either of them lose, Stanford takes the other team's spot in the conference championship game. Cardinal are done with conference play. They have one more game on the season against Notre Dame. Should they, regardless if they win or lose, they're going. Right now, I'm liking that Washington and Oregon rematch. I think Washington State's a shoo-in to beat Washington, or Washington's a shoo-in to beat Washington State. I think Oregon, in spite of how tough Oregon State's played against other top teams, I think Oregon just has had that secret sauce. I like the Ducks. I like the Ducks and the Huskies making it to the championship game. Danny?
Yeah, with how much Oregon State and how well they're playing against everyone else, I actually like Oregon State to upset Oregon and give me Washington Stanford.
We're going to move to the SEC East while Pig Bear is out. Georgia is clinched, and with that matchup against Arkansas and Ole Miss, it comes down to the Golden Boot. LSU and Arkansas. Winner goes to Atlanta. Loser goes home. LSU, right now, my favorite here, games in Baton Rouge. I like the Tigers to make it and play Georgia in the conference championship game. Danny?
Give me the backs, the Razorbacks.
All right. Yeah, a few more conferences to go. The SoCon, Western Carolina, in the SoCon's final year at the FBS level, they're clinched. They're ready to go. Richmond about to make it a 10-win, or about to make it a 11-win season. They played 13 games this season against William & Mary. It would be the Spiders' first 11-win season in program history. Meanwhile, Furman, sitting on the outside, they need a Richmond loss and a win over Western Carolina to make it to the conference championship game. I'm liking that Richmond spot. I think they're a shoo-in right now. Danny?
Yep, give me Richmond against Western Carolina, a future American championship.
All three teams are American bound in 2026. Southland. Northwestern State is clinched. They're ready to go. They've been having a great season this year. Meanwhile, Nichols, they need to beat FCS bound Houston Christian, and the team below should they win their game against McNeese, and should Nichols lose, it's Lamar who steps into that second spot in the championship game. And right now, I want to give a breaking announcement. I'll let you talk first, Danny, about who you're picking in this game.
Yep, I'm gonna pick Nichols to play against Northwestern State.
Mm-hmm. And we've already mentioned the Southland moving down, but we have some news for some of the teams we knew were staying but didn't know where they were going. Affiliate membership has been announced for Northwestern State and Lamar, two of all conferences, the Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley decided to take a gamble on these teams from Texas and Louisiana, trying to expand their reach, and for the other teams, provides a lot more stability than independency would bring. Danny?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting fit. I mean, it's not the first time they've been down there. I mean, they've had West Texas A&M a couple of years ago, and of course, several of the different teams throughout their history has been within that geographic area. So I definitely do think that they do fit well, and I think they can make a splash.
Big gamble for the Southland moving forward. The Sun Belt still open. Right now, Georgia Southern of all teams is sitting on top of it. They need to beat App State, and they're in. Should they not be able to do that, should FAU win, the Owls are in. And should FAU lose and App State beat Georgia Southern, the Mountaineers are in the East. As for the West, Louisiana Monroe controls their own destiny. They need to beat ULL, their old rivals in the Raging Cajuns. South Alabama needs a ULM loss and a win over Troy, and Arkansas State. Should both of those teams above them lose, and should they beat Jacksonville State, the Red Wolves are in the championship game. They made it their last season. All right now, I'm liking FAU, and I'm liking Louisiana Monroe for the Sun Belt Championship game. Danny?
Yeah, give me FAU to play against South Alabama in a rematch.
We're going to move to the WAC. One more conference to go. We have Pacific, who are already clinched as of 2 weeks ago. Their last game of the season is North Texas. And all North Texas needs to make the championship is to beat Pacific. Not only would would a win mean that North Texas is a 10-win team into the conference championship game, but also that they would steal the home field advantage in the number 1 spot from Pacific. Should they lose, and should Louisiana Tech beat Central Arkansas, La Tech is in their spot instead. I think if La Tech loses to Central Arkansas, though, North Texas would still be in. So North Texas needs a win or a Louisiana Tech loss, I think.
Yep.
All right. As for who I'm picking, give me North Texas. I don't think they beat Pacific, but I think Louisiana Tech loses to Central Arkansas. Danny?
I think the Louisiana Tech beats Central Arkansas, and I'm gonna have Pacific against the Bulldogs.
It'd be both corners of the conference. Pig Bear, I saw you came back. We jumped over them, but I'll get your opinions on the power conferences. The Pac-12 down to 3 teams. Who you got?
Pac-12, I've got Oregon State and Washington. Oregon and Washington.
Oregon, Washington. All right. Oregon State's out of the race. SEC East. Georgia's clinched. It's just down to LSU and Arkansas.
Give me LSU being Arkansas and Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. All right. And now we have one more thing to do.
In the Sun Belt.
Yes, your Sun Belt. I forgot.
From Boone, North Carolina. Furman wins the. Actually, no. Richmond Western. From Boone, North Carolina, App State shocks the world. Goes in the Statesboro, Boone. In real life, it was in Boone. I know some.
The game is in Boone.
To home, and FIU wins.
Mm-hmm. We also had another news. Northwestern State and Lamar officially announcing football affiliate membership.
I didn't. I just haven't mute. I didn't deafen. So,
what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's better than independency. Something's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. UT Arlington is still an independent. We'll have to hear back on them and see if they change their mind come end of the year. We also have our final round of voting on this weekend. We have a couple teams still have yet to give their verdict. We'll hear back from them at the end of the week. We're going to start things off, though, with our games of the week starting on Friday. We got quite a few games. Take the dates with a grain of salt. I don't know if we had the dates finished or not in this sheet, but trying our best here. Iowa, Nebraska getting started.
Yeah, and our sheet is
Friday.
Okay.
That's Friday.
Iowa, Nebraska.
Yeah, in our sheet, it's from last week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's out of date. But but those are Black Friday games. Those are Black Friday games.
Black Friday. Iowa, Nebraska. The Heroes game. I like the Cornhuskers to win. The Cornhuskers. I don't know why I said like that. To win this one, Danny.
Yeah, give me Nebraska to win this one close.
Big Bear.
Give me Nebraska.
Clean old fashioned hate. Georgia and Georgia Tech. Give me the Bulldogs to finish the year 11-1. Danny.
Yeah, give me.
Are you cut out?
Georgia. I'm picking the Bulldogs to win this one.
Big Bear.
This game's in Athens. Give me the Dogs.
Up next, the war on I-4, South Florida and UCF. A ranked UCF for that matter. Danny?
Give me the Knights to win this road sign and win the in the entirety of I-4.
Big Bear?
Give me UCF.
Mm-hmm. UCF is the better team on paper. They won this game last season in Tampa. They are the ranked team. They've played better all year. Not today though. Not on Friday. Give me South Florida in the upset. They remember last year and they're going to be fuming. Lone Star Showdown, Texas A&M and Texas. With their loss, this is no longer championship implications, but Texas A&M can still play spoiler to the 9-2 Longhorns should they feel like it. I like Texas A&M in this one. I've had that vibe about this game for a while. Danny?
Give me the Longhorns to win this one close.
Big Bear?
Give me the Longhorns to win close.
A NorCal Showdown decides the fate of one of these teams' bowl seasons as Sacramento State takes on UC Davis. The winner locks into a bowl berth should things align. I like UC Davis in this one. They've been the more consistently good team. They played well in the beginning of the year against the still undefeated Nevada squad. I like UCD. I like the Aggies. Danny?
Give me UC Davis as well. They have had a lot tougher schedule. They've proved a lot more in the field, and they're not trying to wait on some Sac 12 to get them out of this. So give me UC Davis.
Big Bear?
Give me Sacramento State.
Mm-hmm. Because this is not real life. This is 2KU. Remember, one thing that Sacramento State has that UC Davis doesn't in the 2KU is a national championship. Waction on Friday night, Pacific and North Texas. The winner gets your number one spot in the WAC championship. North Texas has been playing with fire lately. I do like the I have Central Arkansas losing or beating Louisiana Tech, so this game will still be a championship rematch no matter what in that scenario. But I like Pacific winning the first matchup of two. Danny?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Pacific to win this one as well.
Big Bear?
But I think it's gonna be a lot tight against them.
Give me Pacific.
The Saturday games, Bedlam, Oklahoma State. I like OU on the road against the demoralized Oklahoma State squad. Danny?
This game is Bedlam, and it will never be Bedlam. Give me Oklahoma State in an upset.
Big Bear?
Give me Bedlam. Give me the Sooners.
Yeah. Joke's on you, Danny. Or Dave. Joke's not on you, Danny. Auburn
David.
and Alabama, the Iron Bowl. Coming from Tuscaloosa. You want to talk about demoralized? I feel like this Alabama team, after losing out on clinching the SEC East, as well as losing to Kentucky, I feel like they have checked out at this point. Meanwhile, Auburn's got nothing to play for but to one-up their rival. I like Auburn in an upset. Danny?
Give me Alabama to win this one close. There's no Jordan Hare black magic that happened this time, so give me Alabama to win this one.
Big Bear?
Give me Auburn.
Up next, we're going to talk about two games at the same time. I'm calling both games. Washington State, the Apple Cup, and the Civil War, Oregon State and Oregon for the Platypus Trophy. I like Washington to beat Washington State, and I like Oregon to beat Oregon State, and they both locked their spots in the conference championship game. Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Washington to beat Washington State, and I'm going to pick Oregon State in an upset.
Big Bear?
Give me Washington to beat Washington State, and then give me Oregon.
Okay. The Holy War has been very entertaining the past few years. They're now both power teams. Well, they were power teams last season, but they're on opposite sides of the opposite sides of the fence at this point. Utah and BYU. Who do you got in this one? I like Utah to get the win over a BYU team who's just barely treading water. Danny?
Give me the Cougs.
Big Bear?
Me Utes.
Up next, the backyard brawl, Pitt and West Virginia. This is a game that I feel like if it wasn't such an intense rivalry, West Virginia would just sort of coast on. This is a type of game where if this were the NFL, you'd rest your starters before the playoffs happened. But one factor I want to take into consideration is Pitt has played close with everybody. And we've just been waiting for the moment where whoever they play against ends up letting their guard down and letting Pitt run away with it. I think that's today. I think Pittsburgh gets the win to knock West Virginia down to 10-2. Danny?
Give me West Virginia to win this one close. I think it'll be very close. A lot of turnovers, maybe a fight in the middle. But I think I'm gonna pick West
Might be a
Virginia to win
brawl
this
in the
one.
backyard. Pig Bear?
I also like West Virginia close. They will not sleep on Pitt. I think that's
Alright.
enough for them to get the win. They are the better football team, in my opinion.
To the battle of LA, USC and UCLA. The least most intense rivalry in all of college football. I like USC to win this one. I think they're too good right now to fall to a struggling UCLA squad. Danny?
Give me USC to win this one close. USC's been stuck on a downward slide, and I think this will be their opportunity to get a win at least.
Big Bear?
USC big.
All right. Meanwhile, we have one more game to talk about, two more teams to talk about. The Victory Cannon as Nevada takes on UNLV, the Fremont Cannon, pardon me. Battle for the state of Nevada. Right now, Nevada undefeated. UNLV just lost to UTEP. I like the Wolfpack to remain that way and finish out with a clean 12-0, much like San Jose State did last season. Give me Nevada to win it. Danny?
Give me Nevada to win this one. They definitely have the pedigree and the power to win basically any game that's shown in front of them.
Big Bear?
Give me Nevada.
Nevada's across the board. Now we wrap with our 2KU games of the week. Yes, games, because we have not one, not two, but three for you in this triple header simulcast stream. Starting off, South Carolina and Clemson. The winner goes to Charlotte to take on Miami. And something is in the air with this Clemson team. Something special has been going down this year. I think they ride into the conference championship game undefeated. Give me Clemson to win this one. Danny?
Give me the Tigers to grill up some chicken, because even though we might have turkey the day before, time to cook us some Gamecocks. Give me the Tigers.
Lava chicken. Danny? Or Pig Bear?
Turkey on Thursday. Dirt Peck on Saturday. Clemson by 2 touchdowns.
2 tutties over South Carolina. Up next, we have a now top 10 matchup. The game, not just any old game. Michigan, number 2 in the country. Ohio State, number 10 in the country. The Buckeyes are underdogs here, but the game is in Columbus. Right now, though, if I'm going who I think is going to win, I like Ohio State at home. I like their chances. But if we're being real, am I ever going to pick Ohio State? You know who I am. Of course not. Give me Michigan in this one. Danny?
Give me Michigan to go, to show them the bright side and beat the Buckeyes in the shoe.
Pig Bear?
Maybe the worst fan base in college football, getting Ohio State.
They are pretty bad.
Terrible. They're awful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like
From there, we go to a land we go to a land. Imagine a whole section of the country where every fan base is Ohio State, and that's where you get the SEC. My apologies to any SEC fans watching at home. But we have a matchup that will determine the conference. Arkansas and LSU. Arkansas only joined the division back in 2024, if you remember. That was their first season. They performed all right, but now this was the upside that they were thinking of, the SEC was, when they brought them in. Taking on an LSU team who has quite silently racked up SEC championship appearances. It's been a bit. They won back-to-back in 2021 and 22, but they haven't been back since that 22 title. But a win at home against the Razorbacks would bring them back. And right now, everything is pointing to LSU getting the win. And there's an interesting debate to be had. Should things align that LSU is the best one-loss team in the country with a win over Arkansas and a win over Georgia? Should that happen? I like LSU to win that game. Maybe even sneak their way into the Natty. Danny?
I'm going to pick the Razorbacks. They've been playing really well, and I think Arkansas is just on fire on their motorbike.
Pig Bears, send us home.
I picked him earlier. I'll pick him again. No Tigers.
LSU. Picking both Tigers for this one. But that is
Bengals.
But that is going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday for our triple header. South Carolina, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Arkansas, LSU. I'll do it for us here. Sorry for the lack of game due to connection issues. Thank you all so much for watching, and so long from the 2KU.